Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, Coloring and Comments, a channel where I color in mandalas and talk to you about various topics that are on my mind at any given time. And lately I've been thinking about what motivates us, like why do we do what we do and how does that serve us? And this all came about on Sunday. I don't know if you've realized it, but Sundays are very energetically different in the sense that everything slows down, yet there's this undercurrent of tension and stress as people start preparing for Monday. On Sundays, I find myself questioning everything that I've done in the week. Why did I do what I did? Have these actions served me in any way, whether in the short term or in the long term? And how do these actions speak to what motivates me as an individual? I've realized that we often see motivation as a skill set that is needed when we are trying to achieve short-term goals, such as weight loss or passing the exam. But we fail to see that motivation is often a subconscious signal of what we need at any given point in time. We have many needs, and the importance of each need differs depending on where we find ourselves in life. We have our basic needs, such as shelter and water. And then we find more complex needs, such as self-actualization. And all this resulted in me looking into various theories of motivation. I then stumbled on a paper called The Theory of Human Motivation by Abraham Maslow. And the paper talks about many things, but most importantly, it looks at how effort and motivation are correlated when we talk about human behavior. In this paper, Maslow came up with what he termed a motivational model, or what we commonly know as Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. And this hierarchy helps us understand how our needs grow, how our needs overlap, and how our needs shape how we see and how we interact with the world around us. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is made up of 5 levels. The levels being physiological needs, safety needs, love and belongingness needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. So we'll start with the first one, physiological needs. These are often referred to as the bare necessities. Physiological needs include our needs that are needed for basic human survival. These include having clean air, access to food, water, shelter, clothing. And Maslow correctly classifies this as the most important need because other needs can only be met when this need is fulfilled. The second is the safety need. And safety need is this need to have or to experience order, some form of predictability and control in one's life. And we take this for granted, especially if you've gone up the hierarchy. But safety needs includes things such as being safe from physical harm, living in an area where there's a lot of police or there's adequate security. It includes emotional stability and financial security. The third level is love and belongingness needs. So this need is that yearning for family and for connection. This relates to the bonds that we create and the relationships that we nurture in our lives. So catering to this need involves satisfying our desire to belong to certain groups. And this is not only with regards to family, but also with regards to friendships, co-workers, and so forth. And this need of belonging and this need of how other people view us ties into the fourth level, which is the esteem need. People see the esteem need as a very ego-driven need, which looks at the belief that you are valued and that you are deserving of dignity, but also involves seeing you or knowing that you have the ability to grow and knowing that you have the ability to achieve various things. This need is broken down into two categories. The first category is the desire for respect from others, so how other people view you, your status amongst family, friends, etc., having prestige, and so forth. The second one is esteem-based in the sense of how you view yourself, and this ties into self-confidence and independence. And I find this need very interesting, and I'll pause here before we go to level 5, in the sense that in life we find those people that we feel have everything. I mean, their basic needs are met. They have shelter, they have food, access to clean water, clean air. These are people that stay in safe and secure areas. These are people that are financially stable. These are people that are surrounded by family and friends, and therefore giving the impression that the relationships or the need to belong to a group is met. These are people that are looked at others and seen as being very successful, or seen as having achieved a certain status. Yet, you find that oftentimes these are the people that are sad. These are the people that are often fighting with themselves. And reading up on esteem needs finally made me realize that, because unless you get to a point where, yes, you have met all 3 levels and people look at you with awe because you are successful, but unless you get to a point where you are confident within yourself, where you believe your abilities, where you believe that you are capable, unless you achieve that, you will always be stuck at esteem needs. You'll always be stuck there, and you won't be able to transcend and go to self-actualization. And this is because number 5, self-actualization means fulfilling your potential, or the desire to fulfill one's potential. And you can't fulfill your potential if you are lacking in self-confidence. So level number 5, again, is self-actualization needs. And this looks at being the best version of yourself. Self-actualization needs are often also called self-fulfillment needs, in the sense that, again, you want to fulfill yourself, and therefore you have reached the pinnacle of being a human. And we have to remember that these self-actualization needs are very different for different people. I mean, some people strive to become the greatest parents. Some people want to be the greatest athlete. Some people want to refine their artistic ability. So our self-actualization needs are very different. It's important to remember that. But the feeling that we get, the motivation that drives us is often the same. So we've looked at the 5 levels of the hierarchy, but quote Animal Farm. All animals are equal. Some animals are more equal than others. And this is saying that, yes, all 5 needs are important, but all 5 needs are not the same. And this is because Maslow categorizes the needs in 2. Firstly, it's deficiency needs, and secondly, it's growth needs. So the first 4 levels of the hierarchy are deficiency needs. And this is because, or they're called deficiency needs because when someone is deficient in this need, they are driven and motivated to fulfill this need. And once that deficiency is met, then that need goes away. And one's attention then shifts to meeting another need. But it's important for me to pause here and say that one doesn't have to meet a need 100% before they move on to the next need. A need can be met 70-80% of the way before one's motivation starts shifting to achieve another need. So for example, you have the physiological needs fully met, because like we said, they're very important before we can even go on to the next level. And then you find yourself at a place of safety needs, and you are emotionally stable, you live in a safe area, but you're not financially at the place that you want to be to feel safe. However, this does not prevent you from going on and starting to cultivate relationships for you to feel a sense of belonging and for you to create a group that will surround you with love and support. The second one, or the second category, is growth needs. And the need of self-actualization is the only need that is classified as a growth need. It's a growth need because it doesn't stem from a place of lack, but rather it stems from a place or from the desire to grow. So the more you engage with this need, the stronger the need becomes. And an example of this is if your goal, or if the pinnacle of who you are is to become the greatest baker in the world, when you start baking, you have this need to learn more about baking in order to master your craft. So the more you bake, the more you want to learn, the better that you want to become. So it doesn't stem from a place of, oh, I don't know how to bake, therefore I'm going to try, but it stems from, oh, I know how to bake, I love this, let me get more knowledge, let me grow, let me succeed, and become the best baker there is in the world. So we all have this desire to move up the hierarchy, to achieve self-actualization. But in reality, we see that we often find ourselves moving back and forth throughout the hierarchy. Like I said, that some needs may be met, you move on to the next level, something happens, you move back, and that is very normal. And it's important to then note that what drives you at any moment in time is not what will motivate and drive the next person. Our needs, and therefore what motivates us, is influenced by various things, by our external environment, by personality, access to resources, and so forth. So as you navigate this space called life, or this journey called life, you have to remember that those around you are doing exactly the same thing, even though they're driven by different motivations. So the next time you encounter someone where you have differences, don't ask them what's wrong with you. Rather ask them, what do you need? Because with the need comes the motivation, comes the understanding. And with that, I would like to say thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll ask you to please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you drop a comment down in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. May your day be colorful and wonderful. Bye.